They took my room. My parents announced it over dinner, and I nodded, saying, "Okay, I'll clear it out tomorrow." The next morning, I found a new apartment without telling them. I was twirling spaghetti around my fork when my mom casually mentioned, as if she were discussing the weather, "We're giving your desk to Emma." My dad nodded in agreement, not even bothering to look up from his plate. They took my desk, the rickety oak one I dragged into the attic 2 years ago after college, where I'd been hustling as a freelance graphic designer ever since. My stomach lurched, but I forced a smile, the kind that didn't reach my eyes, and said, "Okay, I'll clear it out tomorrow." They kept chewing, oblivious, while Emma, my 16-year-old sister, smirked across the table. She was getting the attic for her content creation studio, a sprawling mess of ring lights and aesthetic backdrops she had been whining about for months. No one asked me, "No, hey, is that cool?" Just done, like I was a footnote in their story. I'm 24, still living at home, not because I'm lazy, but because every paycheck is a tightrope walk, some to savings, some to bills, some to keep this house from falling apart. Last winter, I shelled out $300 for the furnace when it died mid-blizzard, and no one blinked when I swiped my card for groceries every other week. It was me again, hauling bags in while they binge-watched Netflix. That desk was my sanctuary, the one place I could breathe, where I built my portfolio and landed my first real client. It wasn't just a desk, it was proof that I was more than their errand boy. But Mom was already talking about Emma's setup, how it would free up her bedroom for more clothing storage, and Dad was murmuring about paint colors for the walls. Emma's grin widened like she'd won something. I didn't know we were betting on anything. I stabbed at my plate, the sauce staining the tablecloth, and felt the weight of it all. I had been pouring myself into this family, and they didn't even see me. That desk was mine, but I guess I'm not here anymore. After dinner, I climbed the attic stairs. The familiar creak under my boots was louder than usual. My desk sat there, cluttered with sketch pads, a cracked coffee mug, and my laptop still humming from a logo I'd been tweaking. I slumped into the chair, staring at the screen, but my mind was racing. It wasn't just the desk they were taking, it was everything I had let them have. 2 years ago, I stayed home to save up and build my freelance gig into something solid, but I had been more than a tenant. I had been their fix-it guy, their ATM. Last month, I spent hours unclogging the printer when Emma jammed it while printing Instagram photos, never a thank you. Before that, I drove her to dance practice 3 times a week, burning gas I couldn't spare while she scrolled TikTok in the passenger seat. And Dad's phone bill? I covered it 3 times this year alone, dipping into my savings when he forgot to pay. Mom's no better, always borrowing my design software for her side projects that never materialize, eating up my expensive subscription time. I ran my hands over the desk's chipped edges. This was where I landed my first big contract, a local cafe's branding job that paid half my rent. It's where I sketched late into the night, headphones on, drowning out the chaos downstairs. Losing it felt like they were carving out the one piece of me I had kept for myself. I'm done. The thought hit hard, sharp like a snapped pencil lead. I grabbed my phone, pulled up a budgeting app, and calculated. I had enough saved for a deposit, maybe 6 months if I was careful. No more waiting for the perfect moment, it was now. The next morning, I skipped breakfast. The kitchen was too loud, with Emma bragging about her new setup, the lighting angle she was planning, the backdrop she wanted to buy with money she didn't have. Mom was clattering dishes, and Dad was reading the newspaper like nothing had changed. I sat in my car instead, scrolling through rental listings. There was a studio downtown, tiny, 400 square feet, but it had a window in the corner for my desk. $800 a month, utilities extra. My heart thumped as I emailed the landlord, attaching my portfolio for proof of income, and hit send. By noon, he replied, "Looks good. Deposit secures it." I transferred half my savings, $2,500, right there in the parking lot outside the coffee shop where I was sipping a $3 latte I shouldn't have bought. I feel a flicker of something, satisfaction, maybe watching him flail. Later, Emma is pacing by the front door, her backpack slung over one shoulder. "You're still driving me to dance, right? Miss Keller will kill me if I'm late for rehearsal." I've been her chauffeur since her recital schedule intensified last fall, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, rearranging my deadlines to fit her schedule. I sip my coffee, the warmth stretching through me, and say, take the bus. I've got work. Her jaw drops, eyes wide as if I'd betrayed her. Seriously? It's like 2 miles away. I shrug, grab my keys, not for her, but for me, and head out to the car. Instead of driving her, I go to a cafe, set up my laptop, and tweak a client's banner ad while she's probably cursing me at the bus stop. It's petty, but it feels good, like peeling off a bandage I didn't know was choking me. By evening, the lawn is a disaster, knee-high weeds from last week's rain, edges undone. I've mowed every Sunday since I was 18, even sharpening the blades myself when they dulled last spring. Dad's out there now, peering at the mower like it's a puzzle he's never solved. He catches me on the porch, sketchbook in hand, and calls over, you didn't refill the gas. It's empty. I look up, my voice flat. Nope, didn't feel like it. He scowls, arms crossed, and I can see the gears turning in his head. He's annoyed, but he doesn't push. I sketch a tree instead, the pencil scratching louder than his grumbling. The grass stays wild, a green middle finger to their expectations. Mom corners me in the hallway that night, her voice soft but edged. We're a team, right? Things are slipping a little. Emma's dance, Dad's stressed. You've always helped out. She's clutching her phone, probably late for a Zoom call with her boss. I've reset the router for her a dozen times, memorized the tech support script by heart. I nod, giving her the same fake smile I've worn for years, and say, yeah, I get it. But I don't move. She hesitates, then retreats to her office. The Wi-Fi is still spotty. I head upstairs, passing the attic where my desk sits untouched, and lock my bedroom door. The silence is thick, pulsing with something new, not guilt, not yet, but a thrill I can't name. They're starting to notice, though they don't get it. Dad's fumbling with tools he doesn't understand, Mom's juggling her own messes, and Emma's whining about public transit. I've been there, gluing and patching cracks they pretended weren't there. Now I'm stepping back, and the edges are fraying fast. I don't say a word about the lease. I picked up the keys that afternoon, and I feel them cold and solid every time I shift in my pocket. It's not loud, this rebellion, it's quiet, deliberate, like pulling a thread and watching the whole seam unravel. They'll see soon enough. For now, I let them stumble, and I keep sketching, the lines sharper than ever. By Wednesday, the house is a mess of loose ends. The printer is still dead, and Dad's invoices are piling up. I hear him on the phone, his voice tight, promising clients he'll mail them soon. Mom's Zoom calls keep dropping, the Wi-Fi has been flickering since I stopped resetting it, and she's muttering about deadlines while rebooting the router herself. Emma is sulking because she missed rehearsal again, the bus running late, and her dance shoes are still by the door, caked in mud that I would usually clean off. I walk past it all, sipping tea from a mug I won't be packing, and feel the chaos ripple. They're tripping over the holes I used to fill, and I'm not lifting a finger. Then Mom twists the knife deeper. I'm in the kitchen grabbing a granola bar when she strolls in, waving a receipt. Sold your monitor to Mrs. Clark next door. Got $200 for it, enough for Emma's new backdrop stand. My ultra-wide monitor, the one I splurged on after landing the cafe client, perfect color calibration for design work that I'd carefully stored in the basement closet until I had a proper workspace. She didn't ask, didn't even hint, just saw it while digging through storage and cashed it out. I freeze, the bar halfway to my mouth, and manage a flat, okay. She doesn't catch the edge in my voice, just nods like it's a done deal. I lock the door and keep packing, the sound of tape ripping louder than their complaints. Thursday night, we're at the table, takeout pizza with grease soaking the box. The air is thick, not just from the pepperoni. Mom clears her throat, picking at a crust. Maybe Emma doesn't need the attic yet, she says, her eyes on her plate. It's the first crack, an admission that things are off since I stopped playing handyman. Dad nods too quickly, like he's been rehearsing it. Yeah, with everything going on, maybe we wait. Emma scowls, mouth full, but I set my slice down slow and deliberate. Too late, I say, my voice steady. I signed a lease. I'm moving out Friday. The room goes still, forks hovering. Mom's eyes widen, Emma chokes a little, and Dad's head snaps up like I've slapped him. You're serious? Mom whispers, hands twisting her napkin. I nod, and then she doubles down, her voice suddenly sharp. I already promised your monitor and desk to the Clark's daughter $250 cash. Figured you're done with them. Another gut punch. My monitor, the one she already sold once, and my desk, the one I sanded down, stained, and made mine pocked off like spare change twice over. I lean back, arms crossed, and say, you sold what wasn't yours again. That again lands heavy, a nod to the first monitor sale, and her jaw tightens. She doesn't argue, just glares, but I hold it unflinching. Emma mutters, that's dramatic, under her breath, and I almost laugh. Dramatics are whining about a scratched desk she stole. I stand, grab a marker from the counter, and head to the fridge. They watch, silent, as I scroll a list on a takeout receipt. Printer fixes 15 times, gas for Emma's ride's $300, plus monitor, mine, sold $200, bills I covered $600 this year, lawn every Sunday, Wi-Fi resets countless. At the bottom, in bold, figure it out now. I tape it up, the magnet snapping loud in the quiet. That's what I've been, I say, turning your teens on its own. Mom's mouth opens, then shuts. Dad's knuckles whiten around a soda can. Emma stares at the list like it's in code. You could have said something, Mom finally manages, her voice small. I did, I shoot back, sharper than I mean to. You didn't hear it because I didn't scream. I just fixed it, paid it, drove it quietly. I point at the list. Every time, that's me saying it. You just saw a ghost doing chores. Dad shifts uncomfortably and mumbles, didn't think it was that much. I nod slowly. Yeah, I know. The words hang heavy as the boxes by the stairs. Emma's still chewing, slower now, like she's tasting the tension. I grab my plate, scrape the crust into the trash, and rinse it in the sink. Last habit I'll break here. The frozen pizza cools as I walk out. Friday, I say over my shoulder, not looking back. That's it. Upstairs, I lock my door. The click is final. The list stays on the fridge, a mirror they can't unsee. Mom sold my desk and monitor twice over, first to Mrs. Clark, now to her daughter, and I'm done being currency. The lease keys in my pocket feel warm against my grip, and tomorrow is close enough to taste. They're rattled, I can feel it through the walls, but I'm not anymore. I sit on my bed, sketch pad closed, and breathe deep, free. They've got one night to stew on it, and I've got one night left to shed this skin. Friday morning, I'm up before the sun. The house is still dark and quiet. My room's a shelved bed, stripped, walls bare, boxes lined up like soldiers by the door. I haul them to my car one by one, the cold air biting my hands as I stack sketchbooks, cables, and a folded chair in the trunk. The attic's empty now, my desk abandoned under Emma's tangled collection of ring lights and backdrops, a stranger in its own space. Downstairs, the printer is still silent, a stack of unmailed invoices yellowing on the counter. The lawn's a jungle, overgrown since Dad's last failed attempt at mowing. I don't touch any of it, not my mess anymore. Mom catches me in the kitchen, hair messy, clutching a mug. Internet's out again, she says, her voice frayed from a week of dropped. I'll manage mine, I say, and she frowns, her mouth opening and then closing, nothing left to argue. The list still hangs on the fridge, curling at the edges, a ghost she can't erase. Dad joins her, hanging back by the door. We didn't mean to take advantage, he starts, but I cut him off with a look. Didn't mean to, but did. Same result. He nods, surprising me. The desk was yours. We shouldn't have. It's not just the desk, I say, and I can see in his eyes he knows it's true. 2 years of invisible labor suddenly visible in my absence. Mom's voice is small. It's not that bad. Too little, too late, I reply anyway. Good to know. I climb into the driver's seat, the engine humming as I glance back. The house looks smaller, sagging under its own weight, overflowing trash cans I didn't take out, dance shoes by the door, a lawn swallowing the walkway. 3 faces watch me, like they're only now seeing me for the first time. Emma runs down the steps, suddenly thrusting something through my window, my old sketchbook, the one with my first designs. Found it in the attic, she mumbles. Thought you might want it. I take it, surprised. Thanks. It's a small gesture, but something. Mom starts to say something else, probably another apology that won't fix 2 years of taking, but I put the car in reverse. I'll text when I'm settled, I offer, not forgiveness, but a door not completely closed. I pull out, tires crunching gravel, and this time I do look in the rearview. They stand together, a family -1, watching the car shrink down the road. The list on the fridge will fade eventually, but maybe something of what I've written will stick. The road stretches ahead, quiet and open, leading to a studio that's mine, 400 square feet of freedom, a window for my desk that no one can take, a life I don't have to share unless I choose to. Behind me, 3 people are learning how to reset a router, fill a gas can, scrub dance shoes clean. I turn onto the highway, windows down despite the cold, and feel something building in my chest, not anger anymore, but something lighter. The weight of them lifted. The sun breaks over the horizon, catching in my mirror, and I smile, a real one this time, reaching my eyes. I've got a desk to rebuild, and this time it's staying mine.